Today I want to prove to you that even with only 12 coloured pencils, it is still possible to create a pretty cool realistic drawing, so let's get straight to the video. So starting off with the materials, the pencils I'm going to be using is a 12 pack of Faber-Castell's Polychromos. Now these are an amazing pencil, probably the best you can get, and they're the thing I use to draw pretty much anything. And the paper I'm going to be using these on is the Strathmore toned grey paper. Now the first challenge was figuring out what to draw, because I wanted to incorporate every colour that I have in this pack of 12 into my drawing. And I thought my best shot was the Eurasian blue tint, as obviously we've got blues, we've got some greens, yellows, and I think I can throw some reds in there as well. So I got a photograph and began doing my sketch, which I did using grids, which for realism, it's a lot quicker, easier, and it's a lot more accurate than if I were to do it freehand. And once this was done, I could then start the challenge. Now I approached this in the same way that I would with my usual drawings, by outlining where all the darkest and lightest areas are, and then using a bunch of intermediaries to blend between these two different tones. But this is where I hit my first problem. A lot of the intermediaries that I usually use are greys, and in this set, I don't have any greys at all. So I ended up mixing some of the lighter colours together, like the burnt ochre and light ultramarine, and then going over it with a white pencil to desaturate the colour. And this white pencil was really the key to just smoothing everything out throughout the entire drawing process. Another example where I had to mix the colours to create another colour was in the markings around the head, as they have quite a purpley hue to them, so I mixed up the magenta and the phthalo blue to create this deep purple colour, which I could then blend to the lighter areas using a splash of the light ultramarine and the trusty white pencil. Now the cadmium yellow, walnut brown and burnt ochre were the perfect colours for his chest. I could use the yellow in the highlights alongside the white and a smidge of light green, and the burnt ochre to blend it to the darker shadows, which I did using the walnut brown, and a smidge of that magenta just to make it that bit darker. Moving on to the branch, I could jot in the main highlights using the white pencil and do the main shadows using the black, magenta and walnut brown. I then used the blues, the oranges and the greens to blend these two areas together, making sure to leave some roughness to it so it didn't look too synthetic. Now to do the green on his back, I didn't necessarily have a very dark green to do the shadows. I had this emerald green, but yeah, it's not that dark. So I ended up using the magenta in the shadows, which is a red, and you're not really supposed to mix reds and greens together as they create a bit of an iffy colour. However, I only used it to indicate all the darker sections of the feathers and didn't really blend it with any of the green, so it turned out okay. Now at this point I realised I wasn't using the black pencil half as much as what I usually do, instead opting for the magenta and the walnut brown together to do pretty much all of my shadows. And honestly, it does look a lot more colourful this way, as the black pencil does have a tendency to dull the colour. Now if you do have a go at this challenge, you'll find that in these final stages it's not really a challenge anymore, because you know what you can and can't do with the pencils you have, and you just kind of get on with it. But something you need to make sure that you're doing is keeping a sharp pencil, which is especially important when working on the more intricate sections like the legs, where it's all quite small and everything needs to be really pinpoint accurate. Now I think that Faber-Castell did a great job with the colour selection in this pack, as I was able to mix pretty much any colour I wanted on the page, and if you want to have a go at this challenge, I'll leave the exact pack that I used down in the description. And yeah, here is the final result, and I hope it shows you that you don't need 120 different colours to produce a pretty cool realistic drawing. And the funny thing is that I still have a lot of pencil left to create a lot more drawings. And if you've made it this far, you may be interested in some more videos just like this one, so be sure to hit that like and subscribe button, and I'll hopefully see you soon with some more drawing content. And as always, thank you for watching.